Guys, good morning. You know, I know it's still summer, but I am moving ahead. You never know when we're gonna open. So I am working on fall already. So today we are going to do this place setting, and I am using my Pavo stamp. It's a peacock, and I'm to tie it all together. I'm using the peacock feather to make napkin rings that we have in another video, but I'm just going to show you how basically how I did it. And then we're gonna do these cute little wine glass tags. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I did is I covered my table, and I used a brown craft wrap, but you could use white, you could use whatever you would like. If you wanted to, you could even use a real tablecloth, but you put all of your paper down. I found, since I have 9-inch plates that I'm using, I needed about 18 inches for each one. So you might want to measure your table to see how big your plate is, and if you're actually going to use this stamp, how you would use it. I have about 18 inches in between. So after I've covered my table, then what I did is I cut out this 9-inch circle of my plate so I knew what I wanted to work around. And then with my table edge, you want to go 2 fingers from the table edge, but that's the etiquette for plates. And the one thing nice about this stamp is they have a reverse to it. And what I'm gonna do is I just marked on here where I was gonna want this point of this feather. And so whatever rounded image stamp you are using, you can mark on your paper. So you kind of have a guide for yourself. And if a few come out crooked, it's not that big of a deal. And then I want enough room here where I'm going to add my other feather. Okay, I'm going to stamp the other side. And I make sure I put my stamp on something else because I know my roller is going to roll off, and I don't want to roll off onto my table. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side since I've marked this. And after you've done the first one, you'll know where you want them. So what I did next was I made a mask. And actually, on this side, I just made part of one. You don't need the whole mask, just enough to cover the bottom wings, because I'm going to stamp this little guy, and I don't want to stamp over it. I just want it to look like he comes out of that. And I marked this one so I know I want this one for my right. We even thought about doing peacock here, and had this just up a little further and had big feathers just coming all the way around instead of 2 peacocks. So you could really play with this and come up with your own unique theme. So what I wanted to do is touch the edge of the end of the paper with the bottom of this feather. And then when I move this, you can see it looks like it just comes out of that. Let's do the other side. And I'm moving this mask just like maybe just a smidge so you see the stamp. So it looks like there's not a gap in between, but it's really coming right out of that. And once again, I'm just guiding the bottom of this to the crease of your table. And you see there is a tiny little gap. That's what happens if you don't put it right over there. But that really is pretty cute. And that's all I really did for this part. But I also thought of other ideas where you could have a little framed stamp here and write the person's name. You could add more feathers around, even coming out, just however ornate you would like it. So if you didn't want to use the stamp and you wanted something else, like here is another idea. I have this Build-A-Wreath, but anything you have with a curve, you could use on the sides of your plate too, and then to measure it out, just cut out your plate, line this up, stamp it, and it'd be a great way to do a whole table setting. So let's just do this really cute wine glass tag. And all I did, and you could use a heavier cardstock or just thin craft paper, whatever you would like to use. All I did is take the small peacock feather, just so we could coordinate our whole theme here. And I'm just gonna stamp that on here. Cut him out. just gonna poke a little hole. I'm gonna use this push pin. Don't stab yourself though, like I'm probably gonna do. And then I'm just gonna take a really thin, rip my raffia and do a thin piece of raffia. Or you could use cording or whatever you would like. And just slide it through. And tie it to your wine glass. So for the napkin ring, I use my Quick Cure clay, and you can look at my video that I show you how to use it. And then all I did is use this peacock feather from the Wings and Feathers mold. I did these three all completely different. This one was just a light green blue with dark wax. This one I painted with the same light green, and then I put brown over and sanded it, and this is gold with brown over and sanded. But you could do any color underneath, you could do one solid color, just whatever matches the theme that you have around your table. But this is a really fun project. When you roll it out, you just let the ends touch and you cure it, and you have a wonderful napkin ring. So you saw how quick and easy this was. So then just add your little extra goodies, your plates, a centerpiece, and you're all set. Whatever you do, have fun.